For better or worse, I'm your MC for the first part of the talk today. My name is Min, like the minimum function, so MIN. So very easy to remember. And with us today, we have many presenters going to go over the entire ethics framework. And so I would like to invite all of us to stand up and be able to tell everyone who you are. So I will start with Karen in the front.
I'm like 2 minutes, well, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Aurélie. I'm not presenting, but I'll be the timekeeper today, and I'm part of the ACL ethics committee.
I'm Fanny, and I won't be presenting, but I'll be helping out with the team discussion part later on.
Hello, my name is Adriana. I'll be presenting together with Min on language and representation in an ethical question.
Hi, I'm Margot, and I'll have the pleasure to talk in like 2 minutes or something. So.
And online, we have two of us presenters. So we'll start with Guido. Guido, can you
Hi, everyone. Yeah, hi, everyone. I'm a PhD student from Argentina. I'm also a student member of the ethics committee.
And we also have Luciana. Luciana, can you unmute?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Min. I'm also joining from Argentina. It's quite early here, so good morning, everyone. I've been with the ethics committee of the ACL since its beginning.
Okay, so you have an all-star broadcast crew supporting you in every time zone. So welcome to the tutorial. So we'll go back to sharing the slides. Okay, so just to make clear, we've been told by underlying crew as we're presenting, if you have questions, please come up to the mic. So our remote participants will be able to hear you well. It is going down on tape, so it is recorded. So hopefully those of us viewing this presentation later on, not synchronously, will still be able to hear your participation. So that's why we have the mic here. With that, I think we'll turn it over to Marco first to present. So I'm going to stop sharing my slides, and then Boma can present from the back.
Okay, so. Yeah, oops. Oh. Okay. So do I have to command the next slide, or can I use this thing? Okay. We shall see. It's great when technology works. So bear with us for a second. It's the first day, so. Don't leave the room, don't switch off. So let's see. Okay, whoops. Okay. Before we dive in, let's just say a few words. You accepted our code of conduct, so please behave accordingly. We want to have an open discussion so that everyone can share their view. So please be open, but please be fair to each other. Hear each other out. Be human. I'm actually part of the professional conduct committee, so if anyone has a complaint to file or if someone misbehaves, I'm right here. Okay, so here you see everyone pretty much. Some of us are in the room, some of us are virtually. Everyone contributed to what we're going to do this afternoon. And before we Yeah, so there is the activity slide deck, the presentation deck, the scribing document. This is all material that we will need in the course of this whole tutorial. So we wanted to not be just someone standing here talking all afternoon, or several of us talking all afternoon, but we actually want you to do things. So be prepared to not only just sit there in the back typing happily on your computer, but that we will actually encourage you to be active, like in a real tutorial, so that you actually get something out of it, not just sitting in a lecture, falling asleep halfway through. Okay. This is the agenda. So we're currently in the introduction and kickoff. And as you see, you will see pretty much each of us at one point up here, which hopefully will make things a bit more interesting. Because if the same person talks all afternoon, you'll probably fall asleep at some point. So we will go over some philosophical bases. We will go over some fundamental questions of ethics. We will look into language and how language creates biases. There will be a break, so you can, take a breath, take a coffee, wake up again. And then we will go into a more active part, and we will have topics prepared, and we will go into discussions about specific topics, both in this room and virtually. So we will not forget about the virtual participants. They're still as much part of this whole thing as the people in this room. And yes, we will try to finish in time before you can go down to the welcome reception and relax. Okay, so to begin with, I know it was just lunch break. Still, we would like to get to know you a bit. And before we dive in, I was wondering, who of you participated in our pre-tutorial survey? Okay, a few. You didn't know about it. You don't remember. Fair enough. So not too many. So luckily, I have the questions with me, so we can redo the survey and then compare the figures. Okay, so that was the first question. How many of you filed the pre-tutorial survey? Not that many. Fair enough. It's not a requirement. You won't get a fail for not participating in the survey. But we were wondering what your main scientific background is. So who considers him or herself as a computer scientist? Lots. So-and-so. You can also raise your hand multiple times. Don't worry. Who's more a computational linguist? Okay, also quite a fair number. Who considers themselves as a data scientist? Okay. Who's a plain linguist? Not so plain, very interesting. Okay, that's quite a number. That's interesting. Who comes from engineering? Welcome. And who hasn't raised their hands yet? Okay. Mathematics. Okay. Anyone else?
Philosophy.
Philosophy, very important. Okay, so these were the numbers that we got in the survey. So you see, it matches pretty well what we observed here in the room, with one difference. I think there are more linguists in the room than data scientists. So in the survey, more data scientists participated, fewer linguists. So that's kind of interesting. So we know where you're from, topic-wise. What's your academic position? Who's a junior researcher? Okay. Senior researcher? Fewer, which is understandable. Postdoctoral researcher? Okay. Assistant professor? Okay. Associate professor? Full professor? Wow, okay. And who hasn't raised their hands yet?
Student.
You're a student, so you haven't, you're pre-master or?
Yes.
Okay, welcome. Who else did not raise their hand? Got everyone covered? Okay. Because interestingly enough, there was also under other, someone actually mentioned, so I don't know whether that was you, student. So we had actually one student, but as you see, a majority of junior researchers, postdoctoral researchers, assistant professors, similar. And then of course, as we go up the ladder, fewer people are there. Where do you work? Africa. Americas. Asia. Europe. To be expected in Vienna. Middle East. Oceania. Okay. I know that one participant wanted to join us from Australia. She's on the way. Okay. So, funny enough, in the pre-survey, tutorial survey, we had almost the same number of people from Americas and Europe. In here, the majority is from Europe. So, as I said, to be expected. Did you have to leave your country of origin for your education? Fair number. Lots more than actually answered in our survey. Interesting. Your why. Why are you here? That's, for us, one of the most important things. Do you want to deepen your understanding of ethical principles? Okay. Do you want to learn about current ethical challenges? Okay, good. Do you want to apply an ethical framework to your research or to your work? Good. Are you interested in policies and regulations? Some? Do you have some ethical dilemmas that you need guidance? See at least some nodding. Are you here because you have to? Good. Because that really dampens motivation. So it's also not for fulfilling some kind of obligations and requirements. Are you interested in networking? Good. Then keep your lunch break on Wednesday free. We will have a Birds of a Feather session on Wednesday lunch break. And you are very welcome to join us for discussions, networking, whatever. So that will be a lot easier there. So if you're interested in that, join us Wednesday lunch break. So these were the answers by our participants. I won't go into the details because I'm running out of time. Sorry. So next important questions. What are your expectations? What do you expect to get from here? Do you want to be prepared for publishing your research and addressing ethical questions? Okay. Do you need practical tools and guidelines? Okay. Do you want more theoretical understanding? Okay, good. Learn about real world studies, cases? Yeah, very good. Do you want to discuss and share your experiences? Okay, we might disappoint one or the other in that respect, who did not raise their hands now. Do you have any doubts about ethical decision making? Okay. Do you want resources? Good. Do you want to be inspired to think more critically about your work? Good. Do you want to interact with us? I do hope so. We're in trouble. Are you just curious? Or you didn't have anything better to do for this afternoon? Okay, good. Thank you very much for indulging me. Now at least we know some of your expectations. I hope we will at least cover some. As I said, we will have Wednesday Birds of a Feather session. So if you want to have a more smaller audience for discussing things, you're welcome to join us there. And then with that, I will hand over to my colleagues, Karen and Fanny, who will talk about philosophical basis. Dorian.